Let's start this forecast off with a look at a time lapse from Black Desert Resort. You saw really clear skies, just a couple cirrus clouds. Those are those thin wispy clouds that you're seeing roll over your screen now. Really cool shot down there. But up here in northern Utah, it was a stunning sunset. Look at these fiery red shots from Salt Lake, North Ogden, West Valley, and Smithfield. Awesome pictures. We love to see them. Thank you guys for sending this our way. And in honor of Memorial or of Veterans Day, I got to show you guys this. This flag right here, it's called the Major. It's the largest free-flying flag in the world. Tammy Budge sent this to us, and they put this flag up every year in honor of Veterans Day. Still a couple colors up there as well, so go ahead and check that out before it's taken down. Foreign radar shows that we're clear across the entire state, and really, we don't have a drop of rain for hundreds of miles. That will change, though. High temperatures since midnight, 63 degrees. We just hit that briefly here in Salt Lake. 50s down the Wasatch Front, a mix of 50s and 60s in the southern portion of the state. 65 degrees was the high in St. George today, which is right around their average. Now, we're going to be way above average tomorrow by 10 degrees, maybe even more, but that's just the warm before the storm because that crashes below average in just one day. St. George looking at a similar setup, but not quite as prominent as that cold air is not going to move down as far south. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this high pressure sliding to the east, clockwise rotation of the high and the counterclockwise rotation of the low pressure system bring the strong southerly wind, which is bringing that warm air from the south across the Beehive State. Then that cold front's going to pass. We're going to have that colder northern air. Doesn't last long, starts to warm back up as high pressure builds over the western U.S. And then we have a similar setup. High pressure to the east, low pressure to the west, and a southerly flow bringing warmer temperatures on your Wednesday and Thursday. Futurecast will show it in action, and it'll also show you what to expect. So we're going to zoom in here. There's that warm southerly flow. That's the warm before the storm. That cold front passes. The winds switch. We're going to see our first drops of precipitation right around midnight Tuesday morning. And then in your early morning commute, that's when we're going to see the bulk of the precipitation, and then it starts to clear on out in the morning. But in your early or your late afternoon, in your late morning to early afternoon, getting a little tongue-tied there, the models are picking up on the chance of some lake-enhanced precipitation, which means there is a chance that we could see a couple of snowflakes mixed in with raindrops, even if it's above freezing in some of our valleys. But it will be predominantly rain. And then here comes that second system bringing even more precipitation Saturday. Now let's take a look at the snow totals. It's going to stay mainly above 6,000 feet. Again, we could see a snowflake or two lower than that, but it's going to stay in the mountains for the most part. 3 inches in mountain valleys, which would include Park City, 2 to 6 inches for most mountains, and the upper Cottonwood Canyons will get a little bit more, 8 to 10 inches. All right, let's talk about our Veterans Day. It's going to be fantastic weather there in St. George, room temperature and clear as far as you can see. Sunset at 5:26. Sunset's going to be a little bit earlier in Salt Lake. We'll touch on that in a second. 70s don't hold for very long. We start to drop into the 60s and eventually the 50s as we get into the weekend with a slight chance of wet weather on Saturday, but it's going to be a fantastic week to be outside down there in southern Utah. Veterans Day planner for the Wasatch Front. Also looking at clear skies. There's the earlier sunset at 5:12, but still fairly nice temperatures in the 60s for the Wasatch Front. Now, the 60s are going to drop into the 40s as we get into Tuesday with those rain showers holding on in the morning. Partly cloudy skies for your work week, and then we have rain and snow showers possible for your weekend with a slight chance that holds on to Sunday with chillier temperatures. That's going to be your forecast for now. Let's send it back over to you, Jordan, Wes.